Hey guys, welcome to the Drumstick Dash Virtual Expo. My name is Tammy Ellis. I'm the Director of Special Events at Wheeler Mission, and we have a panel with us today of the founders of the Drumstick Dash. So guys, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us where you are coming from.
All right, I guess I'll kick it off. I'm Steve Kerr. I'm the Executive Vice President of Advancement at Wheeler Mission. Have been at the Drumstick Dash since day zero. So thanks for being here and good to be here.
I'm Bob Kennedy. I own Athletic Annex, a running and walking store in Indianapolis. And I've also been involved from maybe day zero, maybe day one, but way back.
And my name is Don Carr with Tuxedo Brothers Event Management. I too got in on the ground level of the Drumstick Dash from the very beginning.
Yeah, you know, we go way, all of us, including you, Tammy, we all go way back. Don, you reminded me the other day that 21 years ago, I officiated your wedding.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah,
that blows my mind. And Bob, you and I, I remember those early days of mini marathon training when you emphasized to me that it's not just about running, that it's about fitness and health. And that just encouraged me so much from those early running days in my running career. I'm not sure I can call it a career. I'm not sure it's fair to call it a career.
Call it a career. That's fair.
I'm not even sure it's fair to call it running, what I do. But the fact that you guys just really encouraged fitness at any level. And man, I still remember those days of gathering on Saturday mornings in the cold doing mini marathon training, and you talking to us about just get out there and find a group of people that you love and enjoy life and be fit.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. It's I truly believe that it's really about a journey, and it's about an internal journey and community. And so many people over the years, much like yourself, Steve, I think, who you kind of know you want to do something, you think you've heard other people talk about a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, whatever distance, but you're unsure, you're not sure if that's you or you're capable of that. And I'm a big believer that just take the first step. You know, if that means going out your front door and running down the block and then walking home, that's the first step. I mean, literally, I
Yeah.
You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding about that. Like,
No, I did that a lot. I did a lot of half blocks.
And if you kind of stick to that and find a community that over time, most everyone will really surprise themselves. And that's what I mean about a journey. There's when you see photos or images, or if you're ever at an event and you see people come across the finish line, you know, in the middle of the pack or the back of the pack, and they're crying and they're tearing up, and that's about the journey. That's probably because at one point they weren't sure if that was even possible.
Yeah, I remember
a big deal.
I remember crossing the finish line of Chicago Marathon, my first marathon. I mean, just bawling like a baby. I didn't know why. I was just bawling, exactly. And I had no idea why. Why did it affect me so much? And running, I mean, I see that as such great community, which is one reason Drumstick Dash, I think, is alive today. So, yeah. So
How did the Drumstick Dash start? I know I was around, but I wasn't in on the conversations on those first. I'm just curious, how'd you guys come together and get it all started?
I think there's probably, I wonder if your version matches up with
we should actually write down our versions and figure out, what's going on here.
I have, I'll start off because I'll say that it was, I had to look it up on my computer, but I think it was 1990, well, it was 97 or 98 that Steve Kerr came to me, and I didn't know him then. He just said he was with Wheeler Mission and he really wanted to create a fundraiser for Wheeler Mission. And we came up with this idea called the Homeless Hustle. Steve,
I remember that.
Right.
It was a gem. Actually, it was a good idea. It was a good idea. We did it in the spring. And Steve, you can talk a little bit about it, but we attempted it for a few years and got a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, nothing better than running at Eagle Creek in March with that wind whipping across the reservoir. But we cooked omelets for every participant.
Yeah.
We made homemade omelets for everybody.
Yeah,
Man,
the first few years were brutal. I mean, the weather, I mean, it's like 34 degrees and windy. It couldn't be any worse for, you know, but after a few years, we kind of hit our heads against the wall. And I think we were getting a little frustrated because we couldn't get the event to grow. It was doing okay, but it just wasn't growing the way, you know, we wanted it to be.
You remember how many people you kind of plateaued at? How many participants?
I want to say it was 700 or 800.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Respectable, but
we couldn't get it to grow.
I know.
And we were, like Steve said, Steve came in with his staff and we made omelets. We bent over backwards to make this event just unique and different. And we thought we had it. We had the great formula, and we just, you know, we kind of hit the wall and just couldn't get it to grow much more than that. And then I remember Steve telling me, he said, Don, what about a Thanksgiving race, a day on Thanksgiving race? And I remember I said, well, I know I'd always heard the one in Cincinnati, which has always been around 10,000 people. And I told Steve, I said, yeah, I think that could work. But I said, my hesitation would be, well, how do you get volunteers on a major holiday? And I remember Steve, you laughed at me. You laughed at me. You can tell them the reason why.
Yeah, no problem. No big deal, right?
Well, yeah, I didn't realize Wheeler had such a strong turnout for volunteers on Thanksgiving Day.
We turned away hundreds of people who wanted to come and serve a meal on Thanksgiving, so we just sort of diverted them over to this. I was in Bob's stomping grounds on Thanksgiving 19 years ago, and we were looking for a race. I was in Cincinnati, so a little south of you, Bob, where you grew up. But we were looking for a race to run, and there was a turkey trot in Miamisburg, Ohio. So my family signed up, and we drove up to Miamisburg, Ohio, which is a suburb of Dayton. And there were like, I don't know, 3,000 people. And I think I think Gareth has actually won that race before.
Let's just go with yes, but I'm not.
Why not? But I thought, you know, this is insane. All these people on Thanksgiving morning. So I brought it back, and I was excited. I sat in my boss's office and said, I got an idea. Let's have a race on Thanksgiving morning. And he looked at me like I had lobsters growing out of my ears. I just said, you're out of your mind. It will never work. He said, but if you're going to try it, you know, try it. And if you're going to fail quickly, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
And then and Bob, your story may be different. I think my first stop was to you, to Bob say, what is it possible? Is this something we can possibly pull off? And I think you pulled a meeting together with Don and I and a few in the attic of your old store.
The mezzanine of the old store, right? I remember you coming in and talking about that. And I think my version is that I was super excited because there's a well-known race on Thanksgiving Day in Manchester, Connecticut. Manchester road race or Manchester road run, something like that. And I ran that as a professional athlete one time. And I was not a road racer. I think I ran 3 road races my entire life, but it was so cool. And it was cool because, well, a couple of reasons. It was a huge party on Thanksgiving morning, and like literally the start finish was on the main drag of the city, and there were people in the businesses, and I mean it's just crazy. And it was, and then it was, I felt it was casual enough that literally it started and it ran down the street, made a left, ran down the street, made a left. And it was a random distance. It was, I can't remember what it was, but it was 4.2 miles or 4 something. And I just thought it was such a great community casual event. I think that's what I suggested to you, that if you're going to do this, try to make it so that people, they don't think, oh, I'm not a runner, I can't do that. It's just, it's not an official 5K or 10K. It's this random thing. Make strollers acceptable. Make all the things that you can't do in a lot of road races, not all, but just get people to come out. And do you remember the first, we talked about, well, how many people do you think we can get?
Yeah.
5,000, right?
Hoping for 500.
I think I said eventually I think it's a 10,000 person. And you were like, what? No way. And
yeah,
year one was a little over 1,600, I believe.
Yeah, I am glad you're not my financial advisor, Bob.
Yeah, well, I was wrong.
And you know, and I think that we pulled a meeting in the upstairs. You, me, Don, and I think Aaron Kelly and some others were up there.
Yep.
And if I'm thinking, we were batting around names. I think Aaron Kelly actually came up. Either you or Aaron Kelly actually came up with the name. Drumstick Dash.
Let's give Aaron Kelly the credit.
I think it was because there were turkey trots everywhere.
Everywhere, right?
And we said we need a different name. And I think Aaron, who was like 4 foot nothing,
right.
fast as the wind.
Right.
I think she actually came up with the name. And you know, to ask Don Carr, how many, you know, I don't know, Don, how many races do you think in your lifetime you've put on?
A lot. We do quite a few. Actually, we're associated with probably close to 50 races each year. So it's a lot. Yeah.
And to ask you to come out on Thanksgiving, and all you people, to ask you to come out on Thanksgiving morning. I'm not sure what Robin, I'd like the conversation with you and Robin about, oh, honey, I can't be there Thanksgiving morning, but.
Yeah. Well, it's not too bad. I mean, it's like most households, you know, it's like either you're going to just get in the way of Thanksgiving preparation or just get out of the house and come back after 12 noon. And I got out of the house and came back after 12 noon. So
I remember in the store for about 3 or 4 years, there was this woman who used to come in, and back in the old days, you know, we had paper registrations in the store, right? Mm-hmm. And she would sit there and she would fill out literally about 20 registration forms. And someone asked her the first or second year, "This is great. You're signing your family up. How great of you." And she goes, "I just want them out of the house Thanksgiving morning." Every year for about 4 or 5 years, she did that.
So, Bob, why is it important, and Don too, why is it important that you guys have stuck with us?
Well, for me personally, as a personal, not as a business, but I think they're related. Running has been so powerful for me in my life, with providing lots of opportunity, lots of lessons, lots of great human being connections that I cherish. And I know what it's done for me. And I've seen what running has done for others who, hey, look, I had a lot of talent. I ran at Olympic level, but I've seen that running can provide that same sense of self-fulfillment, satisfaction for me and people who are new and starting to it and are completing their first 5K, 10K. And to me, that's powerful. It can be such a motivating, powerful, positive experience in people's lives that when they accomplish something like that they never thought they could do, then they feel like they can go do other things. And I love that. And I think, especially with Wheeler Mission's mission of helping a community in ways to help them get on their feet and get their lives to a point where they feel productive and have fulfillment in their own lives, I think they dovetail together perfectly.
Yeah. And Don, I know you've seen races come and go. I mean, why is the Drumstick Dash what it is today, do you think? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's such a neat event. It's a fun event. For me, it's, you know, one of the attractions for me is that even though we do, 40, 50 events a year, I'd say the Drumstick Dash is in, you know, the top 2 or 3 as far as just fun events that I just enjoy being at. It's kind of like a giant fun run, even though you have very competitive people, but you also have so many non-competitive people are there to have a good time, raise money for a good cause. Mm-hmm. And I think the reason, I think we've hit the major factors of how this race becomes successful. The fact that I think it's very significant that Wheeler Mission is involved on Thanksgiving Day. That charity with Thanksgiving Day, I think it just really resonates with people. And then too, you know, we're in a unique area of the city, Broad Ripple. I think that was a great choice. And that was partly because of Bob Kennedy and his store being there in Broad Ripple. That's the reason we chose it. I think those factors, you know, we did it up right. I think we're doing it. And to me, it's just it was amazing to me every year that it just grew more every year. And I think between us, we always look at ourselves every year and say, my gosh, what's it going to be next year? Yeah.
We used to do it. Remember, we used to do a pool.
Oh, yeah.
We put a name in a hat and open it up. I never won.
Well, to piggyback on what Don just said, I know people I talk to, they love the fact, and when they know that Wheeler Mission owns the event, that every dime is going back into your mission in the community. And yes, you have expenses to put the event on, of course, but there's no middleman. It's you guys putting it on, doing the work, and then taking those resources and putting them back in what you do every day. I think that's important as well. Yeah,
I know the fact we can actually honestly say every penny stays in Central Indiana. Every penny that we earn from this event helps people who are experiencing homelessness. So, and you know, Bob, going back to your attic or your upstairs, not an attic. Well, it was an attic. Come on.
Mezzanine is a very sophisticated.
Yeah, it was an attic. It was a storage room. I remember you telling me, like you said, you looked at me and said, don't take yourself too seriously. Make it quirky, make it fun, and you emphasize family about 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And so
I think that's where the shortcut came from.
That's right. That's right. We need a short course. And Tammy, you and I have worked together for 20 years, almost. Yeah.
25.
What was your impression? Maybe you can't say it publicly. When you heard about that I wanted to do this race, what did you think?
I thought it was a good idea. You know, we're on 17 years now. I like that it was fun, quirky. Not a 5K, it's 4.6, or now it's 2.75 for the short course. I remember when we used to serve gumbo and turkey dogs and things like that at the end when we were small enough, turkey bisque or tomato bisque soup and things like that. Just fun. Pie eating contests. I remember that. Costume contests. So just the funness. I think that has kind of stuck along the way, which is really neat. A lot of families are involved. And now we've got on the corporate side, big teams involved as well with our sponsors and things. So I think it's just a great event. It's grown. And yeah, what are some of your guys' fondest memories or fun memories of the last 17 Drumstick Dashes?
I think did FedEx deliver Tom the turkey one year?
Yes.
That was great.
Yes. Back when Jerry Gobbler.
Yeah, Jerry Gobbler, right.
That's one thing that we sadly have gotten away from. If you remember Don and Bob and Tammy, the early years, we introduced the turkey somehow different every year.
Yes.
Yes.
We brought him from the back to the front. And the guy in the costume, who we all know, but we can't mention his name, such a good sport. The year that we brought him in on a motorcycle with Steppenwolf playing Born to Be Wild.
Wow. He came in on a turkey platter one year.
Yeah, we brought him in a big turkey platter. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
So that's some fun. I kind of love that whole the quirkiness of, you know, first person to catch the turkey, wins a turkey, you know, or finding the hats in the trees or along the course for prizes. I just think that adds so much. I don't know, it just adds something for not everybody, but for a lot of people.
Yeah. I think that turkey tackler was Don's idea, I think. If I recall, that was Don's idea.
What's that?
First to catch the turkey.
Oh, maybe true. But yeah, you know, it's funny that was, we always would split it up. First male to catch the turkey, first female.
Right.
And the males would go after it, but for some reason it never really caught on much with the females. They just wouldn't, they didn't have that drive or didn't really go for it as much. But it's kind of fun that's worked out well every year, that give that little prize. And yeah, we'd always try to announce who the winner was after the event and give them a little prize. Yeah.
Bob, were you there with me, Bob, when it was when the start line was on Compton, and Mayor Ballard and I were up in the lift doing the welcome, and the lift got stuck. We couldn't get him down.
I do remember that.
And I mean, I'm up there, and I don't know why in the world anybody would turn the keys over to a 5-ton lift to me and say, have at it.
Good luck.
But, you know, every year and the mayor he'd look out for power lines, but one year we got him up there and we couldn't get him down. The lift would literally not get started again. And I found out that, and I'm not going to mention names, but there's a kill switch at the bottom that somebody had hit. And I remember the mayor's bodyguard, when we got down on the ground, he kiddingly said, somebody's got to go to jail over this. And the mayor,
statute of limitations up on that one, because
oh my gosh, I was sweating bullets. And he was so good, such a good sport.
sure, yeah.
Mayor Joe has been phenomenal, just phenomenal. So, you know, it's just been an amazing 17 years, going on 18 this year.
Had a couple proposals at the start line.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's been cool. So
what do you guys do? I'm curious. Do you get to have Thanksgiving after the Drumstick Dash? What are some of the things you do? I usually go home and sleep.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I'm lucky. We work hard, but then I don't do the cooking, so I find out where family's having Thanksgiving, and I end up there, and that's good. I mean, you guys, all of you, with the cleanup of such a large event and the logistics that goes behind that, you got it down. I mean, I have to say, and I know it's not happening this year, from the Expo setup to tear down and turn. I mean, it's as smooth as I think it can go, but it takes a lot of time. So sleeping makes a lot of sense when I hear you say that.
Yeah.
How about you, Don? What time do you get turkey dinner that day?
Yeah, actually, you know, I usually, my brother lives in Carmel. We do it there. Alternates sometimes our house. I get home 12:30, I think, and take a quick shower, and then I rush to whichever house it's at, and I'm there. And usually, right when I walk in the door, it's there, like, let's eat. So it works out well, and it's fun. But it's I make it in time, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm usually a couple hour nap. Then I'm usually at one of my family members for the day, and usually have some food and fall asleep on their couch. So.
Yeah.
But it's been a labor of love. And guys, I cannot thank you both. And Tammy, you too, for sticking with us and making this event. I mean, it doesn't matter who thought of it. Doesn't matter. What matters is all those funds help the homeless. And you guys have stuck with us for so long, and just so thankful for you guys who have really stuck with us from day one.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for everything you guys do every day outside of the Drumstick Dash. I mean, I think it's so important, and I know I'm personally appreciative of the work you're doing for everybody.
Real quick, I think we're about to close, aren't we, Tammy?
Yes.
Yeah, real quick, let me just say a couple of housekeeping details. Bob, you may not know this. We have a course change this year. Because of the red line going up College, we can no longer go west of College. So we have a new long route. Don and I went out this week and came up with a new longer route, same distance, 4.5 miles, but it takes us a little bit south of Kessler through some really cool neighborhoods and right back up to Broderp again. So check the maps. What else, Tammy? Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, just make sure you check the website, drumstickdash.org, before you head out. Just with the 2 rolling start lines, also make sure which time you chose that registration, 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And there's going to be some traffic and just specific ways to get to where you need to go. So be sure and check the website before you head out, and bring your mask to wear at the start line and the finish line, and enjoy the race. It looks a little different, but we're still going to try to be fun and have some selfie stations and fun zones for everyone just to enjoy their time safely. So.
Great. All right, Bob, Don, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
See you soon.
Bye.
Thanks. See ya.